special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous
with your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
What a Chelsea performance. A smashing of the champions at Liverpool. The best, in my view, performance Chelsea have put in throughout the course of the season. Defensively, barring the headed goal from a set piece, but I think Chelsea fans can forgive that today. Barring that, defensively sound, solid, running the midfield show. Cole Palmer at his scintillating best. These are the performances that I was talking about. This is the level that I knew Chelsea could play at. I saw it September, October, November, December. And of course, just as a football fan, I demand to see more of it. We saw against Fulham it coming through. In the previous win, Chelsea looking better and better. And today, it was just a different level indeed. And you could see that the wins over Fulham, the win over Everton, it was only 1-0, but Chelsea were just so much better. The performance was there. And it's one of the things I spoke about a few weeks ago. Chelsea had to focus on improving their performances, and they've done that tenfold. It's been absolutely impeccable. And you know what's really impressive? What really stood out to me? And I think Chelsea fans should make Chelsea fans excited. The fact that when the pressure was on at the end of this season, your players have stood by your manager. Something in recent years you could say was maybe missing. The players have stood up and performed. They have delivered. They have worked as one. And this is a element of Chelsea Football Club that developed in the Roman era and was the bane of so many of our lives. And in the last 3 games, you have seen clutch goals, top-class performances, but more importantly, a strong and solid team. No one's going to gaslight Chelsea fans. Of course, they have to improve the squad. They need better finishes up front. They have to improve on the goalkeeper, but that's another conversation for another day. Champions League football can help. And from 3 weeks ago or 3 games ago, Chelsea's performances, Chelsea's points per game, it was a nigh on impossibility. The turnaround in the last 3 weeks has been impressive. So a massive congratulations to Maresca. Well done to these Chelsea players. Phenomenal. Now, I want to shout out, and Wolfman says it here, Palmer is back. I stood up for Palmer a lot in the last few weeks because I felt that the attacks on Palmer, the slander, the ridiculous takes, I'll give you an example of how bad the takes were. I was joking in my group chat earlier on today saying, well, Liverpool have a 100% loss percentage as champions, worst champions in history. Of course, a joke. It makes no real sense. No Liverpool fans actually bothered about losing this game in terms of the impact on their season. It's no reflection on how good or bad they're going to do next season. But it's taking something that's a fact and it's turning it into something ridiculous. And Palmer had his first little crisis in his career, and he'll go through other periods of seasons where he doesn't play to his full potential, where he misses chances, where he may not be scoring. But I saw it in the last couple of weeks. Palmer was getting back to his best. He was involved in play, demanding the ball. He was involved. He wasn't scoring. He wasn't assisting, but he was involved. And today, Palmer absolutely destroyed the champions of England. His touch, his risk-taking, his creativity, and even right at the end, he knows the goal for himself is important. It puts a little cherry on top of the icing, on top of the cake today, and he slots it away nicely. He really deserved the goal earlier. The skill, the speed management, the way he sold Alisson, the best goalkeeper in the world, with that shot at the near post, absolutely outrageous. He's one of the only players in the Premier League that has that capability. Palmer today was out of this world. Caicedo, doesn't matter if he plays left back, right back, goalkeeper, DM, centre forward. The man is absolutely brilliant. I thought he was out of this world today. Enzo Fernandez, again, for me, individually, the best performance I've seen him have in a Chelsea shirt. Not just because he scored, his overarching play, his distribution, his ball management, his leadership was absolutely tip top. A phenomenal performance from Enzo Fernandez today. And him and Caicedo just keep growing and growing and growing. They're starting to look absolute value for money. And I want to shout out David from the Football Terrace. We all know David. I remember him just telling everybody to be patient. Doesn't mean you can't criticize. When someone has a bad game, we call it out. If someone has a bad month, you say they've had a bad month. But it's the writing off of individuals. I will say on Enzo Fernandez, I'm holding my hands up because I wasn't convinced he was a Premier League player. And I'll always address things when my mind is either starting to change or I'm wrong about something, and I believe that I'm wrong about something. And Enzo Fernandez is starting to look every bit a Premier League football player, and fair play to him. He is delivering. He deserves his flowers. He deserves his credit. And there'll be a lot of football fans that won't be, especially men. Women can do it. Every woman will admit when they're wrong in a footballing context. Maybe not in a relationship, but definitely in a footballing context. A lot of men won't. They'll just push agendas forever. I'm just going to say it. I always saw the talent. I loved what I saw at Benfica. Wasn't sure up until about a year ago if he was a Premier League player this season. Games like today, there is a serious player in there. So absolutely well done to him. Lavia as well. I mean, maybe the solution is to play Caicedo at right back in a lot of games so we can invert. But Lavia today just shut down everything centrally that Liverpool wanted to do. If this man can stay fit next season, that midfield three and Palmer as a collective, maybe adding in somebody else. I know you're linked to a few players out there and across the board, the likes of, Morgan Rogers maybe. That is a formidable midfield. And Lavia today was just absolutely tip top. He truly, truly was, and he deserves a lot of credit. I thought that the entire Chelsea team, if I'm being honest, was excellent today. I really, really did. Even down to the goalkeeper that a lot of Chelsea fans have rightfully criticised. Just top level indeed. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. I thought we had an excellent game. Colwell and Chalobah defended very, very well. I thought Madueke and Neto were dangerous throughout the course of the game. If we're going to be really hypercritical, I'd probably just say Nico Jackson. He doesn't have the amount of goals to warrant it, but he reminds me of Inzaghi. Always offside. And it's ridiculous. He shouldn't be. And if he could keep himself on side, there might have been a few more goals today for Chelsea. And when Chelsea have I just seen my brother come back? Says, oi, Jem. Nice to see you, mate. Like for me, it's like, I don't actually want Chelsea to be good. But if I'm just being objective, I just look at Chelsea and I'm like, they've got to go and if they get themselves a proper striker in the summer, you're going to see a lot more of today. Trust me, a hell of a lot more of today. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. But I thought overall, I've been talking about this for weeks, in the group chats, on the shows. It wasn't even Chelsea's results that I, as a football fan, was disappointed with. It was the lack of performance, the lack of cohesion, individuals stepping up and making themselves be counted, barring Caicedo, that I think has been consistent through that time. Enzo with a couple of good performances. But the last three games, the second half against Fulham, I thought the whole game against Everton was good, just lacked more goals. Today, what Chelsea did is they scored their chances. They blew away the champions of England. And when it comes to the top four, the race is in an amazing position for Chelsea. 3 to 4 weeks ago, it looked like curtains. The performances weren't good enough. You weren't scoring enough goals. You weren't accumulating enough points. A few other teams have had wobbles in that time, but that's a by the by. Chelsea have stepped up. Chelsea are not falling over the line. We got there because these three teams started losing more than us. Chelsea are standing up and making themselves be counted. And with the right, I think Chelsea now, I wouldn't say a shoe-in because there's some tough games to go, and it's a very hard thing for anyone to call. But you could find yourselves in a position where when you play Newcastle, you guys might be able to get to the 70th minute and play out for a draw. I'm just pointing out, especially if there's some defeats that come before it and you put yourselves in that position. And listen, nobody would blame you guys for doing it either. Plus, I'm not going to lie. I mean no disrespect to Villa. I mean no disrespect to Nottingham Forest. But the Champions League is going to be a far more fun competition next year with Chelsea in it, in my view. I don't want Chelsea to win it, right? I'm a United fan. But in terms of excitement, with the Chelsea fan base coming along for that ride, It will be amazing times. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. Let's go to some of your comments here. Nav says, come on, lads, let's go. Yeah, it's good. Do you know what? I've got, how do I say this in the right way? I'm talking about the Football Terrace community. I've got a deep underlying respect for the Chelsea fans who watch the Football Terrace. You were the first group of fans to really adopt the Football Terrace as your own back in the sort of end of Lampard Tuchel days. And you guys have been miserable for a while, and it's good to see some of you guys here in the chat. I've seen some names I ain't seen for a while. It's good to hear back. I like it. It's good to know people are doing well and are happy. Not even Paul's first team. Calm down, mate. Yes, irrelevant. When you say it's not your first team, full international players winning medals, Salah starting, Van Dijk, best goalkeeper, best centre-back, best attacker in the world, Gakpo there, record striker coming on, Szoboszlai, McAllister coming on. Yeah, Trent started, Bradley came on, the heir to that throne. Listen, you guys got beat today. You're champions. You deserve to be champions. Brilliant team, Andrew, but you got battered today. Just take the L, bruv. Yes, we lost, but Newcastle and Nottingham Forest is in the top five, please. Yash doesn't want Chelsea to make it. D here says Palmer, Cold, Caicedo and Lavia are beasts. Enzo, wow. The thing is with Caicedo and Lavia, I'm going to say this. I understand what you mean by beasts. They are physical specimens, but don't relegate them just to being physical specimens. The technical ability, the vision, the weight of pass, these elements of Caicedo and Lavia shouldn't go underappreciated. Fantastic. When Lavia is fit, we genuinely are a different team. Make Jackson a left winger, get us a striker, and we win trophies. Simple. Big up Chalobah, Titan centre back. DR, we spoke a lot. Listen, I agree. I agree. You know, Chelsea deserved the criticism from mid-December until the last few games. I'm never going to take any of that back in terms of the overarching view. But you give this Chelsea team a prolific number 9. You give this Chelsea team, I still think, a world-class goalkeeper. Lavia stays fit, levels. Thank you, Matthew, and thank you, Odds, for all becoming members of the Football Terrace. I really do appreciate that, guys. Santos Estevi, is that William guy? Yeah, I can't say that last name. I need to hear it to say it. My dyslexia kicked in. Are coming. We need elite strikers, centre backs, and goalkeeper. Yeah, and look, you're looking at some. You know, maybe it's the Lap. I know he's a little young, but I think the Lap can score 20 league goals in this team. I really do think he can score 20 goals in your team. A really good result today, but going to be humble here. But next game against Newcastle and Man United and Forest are going to be tough. Really don't see top 4 happening. I'll be honest with you, Raj. Man United's a given. Man United, it's a given. I think you'll beat us anyway at Stamford Bridge. But Man United really should be in the Europa League final by then. Your game against us comes 4 days before that. 4 or 5 days before it. There's going to be no Man United player is going to be trying that hard in that game. I can't see it. For me, that's a shoe-in for you, brother. As long as we're in that final. Please. I want it. I need it. A great win. This is from Nick Hunter. Says great win, great management. Great win, game management after their goal was spot on. Wide play, defense and midfield were great today. Palmer was having fun again. Caicedo, wow. I agree with everything you said there, mate. And I think you make a really good point. The game management after the game management after the goal was very important. Jiggy here says biggest credit goes to the defense today. They were super solid in the crunch time moments. They are much better than rivals give them credit for. Do you know what they did brilliantly today, your defenders? And maybe you did this 5 or 6 times. Liverpool working the ball very well. And as it was getting played into their forwards, the amount of times Caicedo and Chalobah especially would step forward early, intercept that ball and start counterattacks. It was really good to watch that they were sort of in the flow state. They were just doing it organically, and it really brought the football together for you. We played better against teams that actually come out and play football. Lavia is such a key player. Jackson was frustrating me with his decision-making, though. You need an improvement on Jackson. I think most fans would agree with that. And look, Lavia, yeah, you are right. Maybe Don was correct when he said he's one of the most important players without kicking a ball. Big up, Don. Palmer Show, Kuka, Caicedo, Lavia, Trev, Enzo, insane. I agree with you, Dyke. All of them. 8.5 plus out of 10 today. Hey, Terry, I'm back for a while. Yes, Sass, where you been? Where's all my Chelsea brothers been? It's good to see you all back here. I sometimes sit there and wonder and be like, oh, I hope they're okay. I hope they're all right. I know you are. I know you are. But your youth team beat our youth team and you was gassing it. I don't know what you mean. If my youth team wins a game, I'll be happy, yeah. I don't quite know what you mean. I don't quite know what you're talking about. I'm lost. Explain, bruv. I told you, Terry, they'd win comfortably. Yeah, listen, I predicted a Chelsea win today. I did think Chelsea would win. The craziest bit about my prediction, I don't know why I thought this. I thought it was at Anfield. So I predicted you winning at Anfield today. And then when the game started, I was still live after the United game. And I was like, oh, fucking hell, it's just Stamford Bridge. So then I definitely knew you were winning. What I didn't think I didn't think you'd be this good today. Impeccable. Bournemouth and Brentford smashed Arsenal and United. Yeah, mate. As long as it's not Bilbao smashing us, I'm fine, bruv. Like, it is what it is. We lost today. I'm over it. Season's over for us like it's over for you. Don't matter. It don't matter. And in 3 games' time, we all go back to 0 points, 0 games, 0 goals. We all start again, don't we? So cheers, Andrew, my old mate. This guy, Andrew, though, he's such a troll. He messaged me on a video the other day saying, I can't. He messaged me on a video with Callum from Coppish and said, I can't believe you call out so many things. I can't believe you haven't called out Joey Barton for what he said about Liverpool fans celebrating. It was in that video. He didn't even watch it. My dad used to sing a song about men like Andrew, and the song was, what a wanker, what a wanker, what a wanker. That's what he is. It proper. I hope you're well, Andrew. And Andrew, by the way, if you get triggered by that banter, then you're relax. What a wanker, what a wanker. Vital to see Santos next season. Lavia will probably get injured again, but Caicedo's levels are defense up as inverted right back. So we need the extra CM. Yeah, listen, I totally get why you would say that. And I get why there'll be Chelsea fans that will tread a little carefully with Lavia and maybe don't want him overplayed too soon because of the injury problems that he has had. But if he can get through them and can get a couple of seasons of regular football, there's such a player in there. There really is. Can't even celebrate wins anymore. Nice to see you, Terry. I hope you're well. Daniel as well. Every time you come back, though, Daniel, after a little hiatus from the terrace, your username gets bigger. It used to be one name, and then it was, and now it's very long now. Daniel surviving Maresca Campos in Win Stanley out. I love it, mate. Love it. It's good to see you here. Good to see you here. I'll be honest. Thank you, Slots, for playing easy. Listen, I don't know about that. You can say that if you want. Maybe there was a little bit of there wasn't the same intensity as last weekend, but they were really trying to score goals. They were really trying to beat you today. They weren't just passing it around and passive. They really tried. So I think you've got to give yourselves a fair amount of credit today. Time for the panel now. We've got Jem coming on. We've got Elijah. We've got Andrew WinterSurfer coming on to talk football with us. If you haven't done it yet, by the way, people, get the like button smashed. I want to say a big shout out as well to our title sponsors today, NordVPN. I said it before and I'll say it again. You shouldn't be on the internet without protection. The same as when you go out with a nice lady or you go out with a nice young man, you should always have protection in your back pocket. It's as simple as that. But why it's important to get yourself a VPN. One, if you're a streamer, if you use computers a lot, it keeps your sort of bandwidth and everything else very clear and safe. Your personal details, bank account numbers, email addresses, etc. It keeps them safe. It stops advertisers from being able to market you and sort of always, whenever you might just be talking and suddenly you get adverts of what you've been talking about. A VPN protects you from that. They're almost spying on you. It will protect you. But the most important thing is a message for you young men, especially you young men that live at home. The ones that are over 18 I'm talking to here. You don't pay your Wi-Fi bill I would assume. Your mum or dad do. You may even turn on incognito when you're on the internet. The bill payer can still see what you're looking at. So I'm just saying to all you young men, because I know how you do, with a little tug off or two. I was young once. Get yourself protected online. Buy NordVPN today so you can surf the internet with full protection. No one's spying on what you're doing. All your personal data protected. I can give you 4 months free as well, but scan the QR code. Best in the business, NordVPN. Time for the panel now. We've got Andrew Barnes, we've got my brother Jen, we've got Elijah and WinterSurfer all on the Football Terrace. Welcome back, gentlemen. Congratulations on the win today. Very, very important indeed. Andrew Barnes, I know you've got to shoot off very quickly, so I'm going to come to you first. What do you want to say, bro?
Okay, firstly, I saw all the chats, the super chats talking about, Liverpool didn't play.
You're very quiet.
Can you hear me now better?
Much better. Oh, yeah, you've got a really good mic. Put it near your mouth.
Yeah. Sorry. It was I forgot the mic. I'm a bit excited. Yeah. So basically, I know that I saw the super chats and they were talking about how Liverpool, they didn't play their strongest team. If they did this, if they did that, if Jackson was not offside in the first attempt, Alisson would have been sent off because that was a clear foul outside the box. If Cole Palmer didn't hit the post from that zero angle thing, we would have had more goals. Like we can say all of that. For me, even if we had to draw this game, I would have still been happy because of how the performance was. Like that's what I was happy about the most. That like I'm over the moon that we won, but the performance was amazing. It was nice to see Cole Palmer playing like
Damn, there are 4 Chelsea fans here. Fairs. I guess.
It was nice to see Cole Palmer playing like Cole Palmer. The pass when he didn't look and he made the pass to Noni, that was a mental pass. And he did one to Jackson as well like that. And I was just like, okay, like I can feel that he's back. It felt different. And we are a different team with Lavia on the pitch. We just are a different team. For me, like my man of the match, if I had to give it to anybody, would have been Caicedo, because that man, like whichever position he's playing, he just owns it. Like at the 95th minute, he's putting pressure on Quansah to get the ball. It's that guy's energy levels, like prime Kante. Like it reminded me of that. Like it was just, for me, it was amazing. Like the performance was amazing, and it's just like Chelsea to do that, right? We never beat anybody in the top 6 all this while. We beat the champions 3-1. It's for me, it's just like I'm over the moon. I'm super happy about it.
It's true. And listen, as it currently stands, and it's factual, Liverpool currently stands as the worst defending champions ever with a 100% loss record. And Chelsea have given that to them. So you and I agree with you, because I know you and I saw eye to eye a few months ago when talking about this. Chelsea had the talent, they had the ability, but you weren't going to make the Champions League without these performances improving. In the last 3 games, you can just see that step change in quality, really.
I just want to say one thing, that because I've been giving him like a lot of stick, and most of us have. Like Sanchez had a very nice game this game. Like for me, like when he had to come out and take the ball, he took the ball. He didn't have to do like much, obviously, because the defense was solid, and he had like more than a decent game. It would have been nice to have the clean sheet, but like, what are you going to do? Like that was a really clean header and the ball went in. But I'm over the moon. I wish that we continue to do this and hopefully beat our bogey team, which is United. Just get over the line if he didn't concede that goal, we would have been 4th by now because of the goal difference. It was just, and like, we just have to make sure that we beat Newcastle next or get like results from the next games and make the top 4. I don't want to be at the 5th position because it's too risky. Last time it happened, we were there, and then United won the Europa League, right? Not the Europa League. What did they win? They won the FA Cup, and that's when they went through. Yeah, so I don't want that risk anymore. I want to be comfortable at 4. So I hope.
I agree. And look, I'm just reading this stat here, and I'm not a Chelsea fan. I wasn't aware of this. It says here, Chelsea today ended their run of 10 games without a win against Liverpool in all competitions, and it was emphatic at 3-1. This is also, and just to put it into context to Liverpool fans not playing it, I know they don't care per se today, but it's about how difficult Liverpool are to play at this time of the league. It's the first time in 20 games in the Premier League that Liverpool have lost a game in May since they were beat 1-0 by Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in 2018. It's the first defeat in 7 years in May in the Premier League, according to The Athletic, for Liverpool. So this is why when people try and play it down,
Oh wow, how can I cope? Wow, really?
It's not about you. It's about what it's not. Hang on, this is the thing, Hassan. See, because Hassan has main character syndrome and his ego
I
is
get
big.
it. It's 20 times and you're upset. You have to force
But
this.
Usam, we'll do a guard of honor for you, Usam. We'll do a guard of honor for you to get this result.
It's typical Liverpool fan. I've got to make this about me. This is about Chelsea doing something that no one's done in a long time, and they haven't beat you in a run of 10. It's nothing to do with Liverpool directly. It's about someone else, Hassan. You've got a big head, but your ego, strangely, is twice the size. That's the crazy thing with you, Hassan. I'm
not egotistical at all. You're just trying to make a narrative that this doesn't exist when it comes to this game right here. This teaches me. This teaches me. No, let me speak. This teaches me nothing about Chelsea. You want to make it about Chelsea? This teaches me nothing about Chelsea. How does that teach me anything about Chelsea? Today's game. How does it teach you anything about Chelsea? Tell me. I'm not going to make it about Liverpool at all. Tell me.
Okay, so you don't see that one. I want you to break this down for me. They haven't beaten you in 10 games. They beat you today. No one in 7 years has been able to beat Liverpool because you've been a very good team for many, many years in May. At the same time, Palmer today, for the first time in a while, getting back to his absolute very best. You saw what Lavia brings to this team in a big game. Their record against the traditional big six have been very, very poor. It's the third game on the bounce where the performance levels have gone up. They've got their victories and they're really pushing towards Champions League football, which they as a club know they need going into next season. To watch these last 3 games, today's performance, the wins and the records and bad records they've put to an end today, to say you've learned nothing or it means nothing for Chelsea, I think is a disingenuous and salty take.
I agree.
I'm not being salty at all. I literally have no reason to be salty. First of all, from a Liverpool perspective, this game does not matter 100%, like regardless of what like silly narratives people want to throw out. But even from Chelsea's perspective, this does not teach me that Chelsea now are capable of handling pressure and can do stuff in the month of May because they've beat Liverpool and stuff like this. All what Chelsea did today is beat a Liverpool side that just, I don't think that we were really bothered about the game. Even Van Dijk's sarcastic celebration showed that to me. I think, like, from probably the last week, Andrew's seen me say this. I've said that Chelsea are going to win this game. Like, I've predicted it with ease. And today's performance shows me this from the Chelsea perspective, that the fact that it was only like 3-1 and the fact that, you know, the way that they ended the game with a Palmer penalty in the 97th minute, the fact that for a period of 10 minutes they were shitting themselves against like rotated Liverpool side that were drunk, does not show me anything about Chelsea. If I'm going to learn about Chelsea, I'm going to learn something which Andrew said. I'm going to watch them against their bogey team, Man United. That's going to be a lesson. I'm going to watch them against Forest away because that's going to be a lesson. And I'm going to watch them against what's it called? Who's the other team? Newcastle away, because that's going to be a lesson. There's something that Terry Fleurs himself always says. The reason why he doesn't look at point tallies alone is because after a team wins the league, they're just like, oh, like, come on, like, why are we going to like just destroy ourselves on the pitch to win today's game? Chelsea have something to play for. So do Newcastle. So do Forest. So do yourselves to an extent, you know, when it comes to like the Premier League. So those games are going to be the games that teaches me stuff about Chelsea, not today's game. Today, Virgil literally kicked it into Quansah. Salah's passing was off. Van Dijk was shit today. He left so much space for that first goal. It was actually hilarious, you know, and I don't think we just didn't try. Like, we just didn't try to win today's game at all. And I think at the end of the day, I expected Chelsea to win today's game. They did. But their road in this next 4 games is what's going to teach me about them. Because in reverse, you know, Terry always likes to ask hypothetical questions. So let's ask a hypothetical to create a conversation. These next 4 games, right? So Chelsea go away to Newcastle, they lose. They draw to Man United, they lose away to Forest. So this game that they just like, oh, this is Chelsea, blah, blah, blah. What does this mean then? This game means nothing because they end up losing out on top 5. So their next 3 games are way more important.
Go away. The performance doesn't go away. If we lose, if the results are going against us, we're talking about the level of performance. And this is what Terry mentioned as well. In the last games, even if the 1-0 win against Everton, it's the performance. It's starting to get better. Like, Palmer hasn't scored in the last games, but you could see that he's making the effort. He was the pivotal part of the play. And now it's starting to become something. And it's going back to what it was. And that's why it doesn't negate the performance of this game.
Yeah, and what I'll say, Sam, before I go over to Jem, because it's not my team, is this: I didn't say that what we saw today tells us everything we ever need to know about Chelsea. So you are right. More can be learned after the Forest game, after the Newcastle game, as an example. No one on this show has said today teaches us that Chelsea are X, Y, and Z. All we said is that it was a very good performance. Certain players played out of their skin, but it's also on the back of two previous performances where you could see them improving as well. So it's the accumulative nature of it. Are Chelsea the finished article? Nobody has made that claim they're the finished article just because they've beaten Liverpool. But to not beat you once in 10 games, to then go and get that done, I still think for them individually is a great psychological barrier to get over. It doesn't matter about yourselves in that regard. By the way, the Man United game won't teach anybody very much, especially if we're in that final 4 or 5 days before they're going to play our kids. So it's just based on your own logic. But Jem, what did you make of Chelsea's performance today? I know you've been obviously very critical in the group chats and everything else, but what did you make of it today, brother?
Anyway, big up, Terry. Good to see you and the Terry family.
Yes, mate. Thank you.
Hassam, congratulations on your Premier League, by the way, as well. I'd like to say, because I've not spoken to you in a while. However, I do think you've been slightly disingenuous in terms of our own performance as a Chelsea fan. That first goal, Cole Palmer put Curtis Jones on the floor with good movement. Ball got played into him. But then it was about the ball behind into Neto, which then got played into the space, which allowed Enzo Fernandez, who, by the way, has been doing this for a while now at Chelsea, arriving in the box, not crashing in the box, receiving the ball and putting away within 3 minutes. I thought we started the game very well. I thought after that, I thought we managed the game very well. I think that was the key thing, really. It was a little bit different to what I'm used to seeing with Chelsea, because going 1-0 up, 1-0 behind, a lot of what we've been doing under Maresca has just been all-out attack. It's just like keep going, and the spaces have been very open. Today, when we scored, even though it was a slightly weaker Liverpool team, we still sat back. We still managed. The instruction was important that Maresca gave them, which I think the players done well in. I thought Lavia had a very good performance. Again, I keep saying about our three midfielders, Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo are just so important. Keeping Lavia fit and having all three available just shows how important it is to Maresca's system and what it is that we are trying to do moving forward. I thought it was very good. I thought the defence done very well equally. I actually thought we were playing with 10 men quite a lot today, if you want my honest opinion, because Nicholas Jackson, Jesus Christ, if he weren't trying to hold the ball up and slipping and falling on the floor to then not understanding the offside rule and find himself in the offsides, I think it was 3 or 4 times today. When he can clearly see across the line that that he's offside. It's just pure lazy, Hassam. But this is something that Jackson's been doing for a long time. I've been critical of him. I know I've not been on here, but he can clearly see that. You look at Madueke's goal, you can clearly see he's offside. Step up quickly, receive the ball. Earlier on, I think we could have been 2-0 up in the game if he would have, in my eyes, woken up a little bit. But I want to talk about Enzo Maresca because I thought he got it spot on today. I thought he set us up well. I thought the instruction was important. They understood what they needed to do. They got the early goal. They managed the game very well. And yes, I agree with what Sam's saying. At the end of the day, we can only beat what's in front of us. Our record against the top 6 is absolutely shocking, barring Spurs. We don't beat top 6 teams. Yeah. So for us, it is a hurdle to beat Liverpool today, because let's be serious, we could have drew this game. Yeah. And we would have all sat here and gone, oh, well, we're used to seeing Chelsea do this against the top 6. We didn't today. We stepped up. I thought the corner that Van Dijk scored was absolutely shocking defending, by the way. I don't know why Madueke's marking Van Dijk and why he had that much space for him to score. But overall, I'm just happy that we've managed to get over this hurdle. And I agree with you, Sam. The Newcastle game is a massive game. The Nottingham Forest is a massive game. We've got a lot of games coming up that are key to us getting Champions League. But this goes a long way for us to kick on and now take this confidence and move forward with it,
I think Chelsea getting top 4 is better for me, because Chelsea getting top 4 makes Newcastle's chances of getting top 4 less, which is something that I want. But at the end of the day, I do think in terms, I stick by what I said in terms of the run-in. These next 3 games are a lot more important for you. I get that you haven't performed well against the top 6 sides. But with all due respect, I'm saying this completely respectful. I'm not even trying to disrespect. I think if this game was played last week and we weren't league champions yet, I think we would have obviously won the game, and because the players would have cared and they started the starting 11 and everything. But I think obviously for you it doesn't matter because you got the 3 points, which is what you wanted to get, and you ended up getting it, which I think is very important. But these next 3 games are what matter. This is the thing for you, like going forward, because if you don't get top 5,
they do matter. But then these next 3 games would also be. This is where I think you're being disingenuous towards Chelsea. If the previous 3 games weren't wins, then the next 3 games will be inconsequential because they'll be out of the race for a Champions League position. So you can't just disregard. It's like the game, the 3 or 4 games before you win the league title. They're not more important than the 20-odd, 30-odd games before it that gave you the foundation to be able to win the league title. The last 3 games, these last 3 matches have been so important for Chelsea. It's when their performances started to turn around. It's when they got massive points that, let's be really honest, Chelsea fans had no idea whether they were going to beat Fulham and beat Everton and win this game today based on the previous few months. They've gone up levels. Yes, you're right. They shouldn't get carried away and think it's done. But the idea that they don't really matter in the next 3 games do, I think he's ignoring the fact that their performances have improved and the confidence they're now going to have going into these next 3 games, I think was non-existent in comparison 3 weeks ago. I don't know what the Chelsea fans think of me saying that, but that's how it feels from the outside looking in.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with Terry. I think he's spot on with it as well. And I think it's disingenuous to also say that Liverpool didn't have moments in the game, especially later. You know, you got Darwin Núñez, free header, headering it towards the corner flag. Like, it's not like Liverpool weren't trying to play or weren't trying to create. But do you get what I mean? You had opportunities there. You know, you had moments. You know, you could have caught us. You know, it wasn't like you weren't playing or weren't trying, and we were just, you know what I mean? It's the way that you're making it.
The only thing I care about now is Mo getting the assist record. That's it. So the only time I lost my mind was when Núñez missed that header. I fully insulted him, and everything. I think I got myself demonetized. But yeah. Anyway, I really did. That's the only time. Like I've been saying it. Listen, the only thing I want is just this assist record, and then Núñez misses a 2-yard header. I just insulted him. But
also, can I just say one more thing? And I want to say about Enzo Fernandez. He's been getting a lot of criticism last season about his performances, which I understand. I've seen a lot of it over social media to the point of people saying that they don't think he's good enough to play in this Premier League. What he's done, especially this part of this season, and I'm talking from 2025 onwards, maybe even a bit before that, has been very, very good, and he's led us very well. He's added to his game the ability to crash in the box in moments and make differences in games. His assist levels are absolutely ridiculous. He's on 20 GNA right now currently at Chelsea. I promise you now, if we had a striker up front, and I've been saying this to Don and all the Chelsea fans as well, this guy would be on about 30 GNA plus. And I'm not joking, because he creates that much. And especially when you look at how bad Cole Palmer's been. Today he was good. But in the last couple period of games, 12 games, I think it's that Cole Palmer's not scored or assisted in the Premier League. Yeah. That's a long period of time to have a player out that's so important in terms of your creativity and your goal scoring. And for him to be coming in and having these moments and stepping up and helping us, along with also Caicedo, who's been absolutely awesome. I just think he's been very, very, very good up to this point.
Yeah, I think it's 16 games he hasn't scored. And Hussam, yeah, like when I saw that header being missed, it was just funny to me. Like if I have a compilation of just Jackson and Núñez misses, it's just the funniest thing.
Jackson's definitely better. A lot better.
They're still both ridiculous.
My favorite moment of the whole game, I was happy for 3 moments today. When Chiesa came on, I started singing the Italian national anthem. I love that shit. The guard of honor, because Endo started, and then he got clapped by Lavia.
Did you guys? When did the rule change? Sorry, it's about that player. When did the rule change that 5 appearances gets you a medal?
I never heard. I
think this rule change. This what basically happens. They give you 25 medals. You can give it to whoever you want, but if anyone makes 5 appearances, they have to get a medal, whether you like it or not.
Okay. I was going to say
the best moment for me, which I enjoyed very much, is when the Liverpool fans started screaming "champions" at Lavia. I think that's proper shithouser. He even smiled back.
He was kind of like that. He was kind of like that.
I enjoyed it. I think that was an amazing moment. I think football needs a bit of that. We need.
But you still wish you had them.
But your own fans also booed Trent going off, right? When Trent was going off, it was your fans who were booing him. because there was booing, but I don't know if it was because of Trent, because Trent was going
we
off.
didn't boo anyone. Today we're just singing champions for 90 minutes.
Okay, because there was booing when Trent was going off, and I was like, maybe it's your fans.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why would
Fair,
our
fair
fans
dues.
boo?
Winter Surfer. You've been on most of the Chelsea match reactions this season. A lot of them have been quite difficult to like break down the game, but today must be a very pleasant and welcome improvement.
Yeah, because it was Liverpool, that's just an added bonus. But we just needed to win today. You know, I think we were all downbeat 3 weeks ago when we dropped points against Ipswich, and we didn't. You know, we saw the run-in and we thought, and it's still a tough run-in, but we thought, wow, it's not going to happen. But we got, we're keeping ourselves in it. We've now put the pressure on Nottingham Forest tomorrow for that Palace game as well, because they're away. Yeah, we keep rolling, but you know, Sam's right, and the next test, the biggest test, is next week against Newcastle, a team that's up for it and fighting for something, you know. But we just needed to get these 3 points, and we played very well. Palmer's going to get all the plaudits, but I thought Lavia was just imperious today. You know, he never gave a pass away. You know, he's just a difference, and if we can keep him like fit for even half the games he missed, it will make a big difference. But yeah, 3 points, all that was important. We move on, and you know what? We just make sure that everyone else has to go full throttle as well. Do you know what I mean? Especially because we had to win today because City have got Southampton next, and that's like 3 points to City. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's just gonna happen. But who knows, right? If we beat Newcastle and the Sam's mob beat Arsenal next week, that's like a point. It's like a point between us. You know what I mean? It's like we drag Arsenal into it. We drag Arsenal into it and make that, and then they've got Newcastle after that. But it was important because Villa won also yesterday as well. People forgetting Villa won. So Villa were on the same points as us when we kicked off against Liverpool today. So it's to keep them at arms apart and stuff like that. But no, it's good. Palmer played very well. Everyone played well in bits and pieces. That Van Dijk goal was so coming. You could tell we never marked him at the corners. It was like even Gary Neville was going. Why have you put who was on it? Madueke or Enzo Fernandez or Cucurella on the tallest player? I don't know why we kept doing that. It's just madness.
He was the only threat in the box. That's what I don't get. He was the biggest threat in the box, and you just left him.
But Sam's right. We did get squeaky bum time, but actually, I thought we actually managed that quite well after like a couple of minutes after that. Do you know what I mean? We actually managed it quite well, and yeah, big up to the players, big up to the crowd. It was a good atmosphere. Liverpool fans played their part. I think we booed Trent. I don't even know why we booed Trent. Actually, I have no idea why we booed Trent. I don't understand. This guy gets booed for no reason. He just gets booed.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I mean, he messed up his pass afterwards, but that turn that Madueke did on him today.
Oh yeah.
And then he messed the pass up, and I was like, oh, if you score from that, Trent's definitely not signing a deal. He'd have to leave the Premier League if that led to a goal. Elijah, what did you make of today, brother? You must be happy with today and the last few weeks.
Listen, you're right, Terry. I'm absolutely buzzed right now. And yeah, I agree with Sam. The next 3 games is going to determine whether Chelsea are going to finish in the Champions League or not. But today's game, honestly, it was sensational, man. Sensational. And Cole Palmer, I said, this game that I don't think he's going to be turning up today. But you know what? He has proven me wrong. He was involved in every goal, you know, and I'm so happy that he scored today because it's been such a long time since we last seen Palmer scoring a goal. But the fact that he done it against the champions is absolutely amazing. I thought every player turned up today, every single one of them. You know, defensively, yes, we could see the goal, but defensively, we were solid. You know, Sanchez, he didn't have much to do in this game because defensively, we've been looking good. The midfield, Caicedo, superb. Enzo, superb. You know, Lavia, superb. The midfield three of, you know, if we can keep Lavia fit, that midfield three of Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo will really work because all of them just step up week in and week out. You know, Madueke was decent. Neto was absolutely amazing. the only player I was frustrated is Nicholas Jackson, because this guy, every time I see him making a one, he keeps on going on offside like 3 or 4 times today. And I'm like, what? When is this guy ever going to time his one perfectly, man? Like, if you saw the Madueke goal that was disallowed, if you would have timed his one perfectly, we could have been 2-0 up, at half time. But listen, we started off really well, and then we took a foot off the gas. But listen, I'm going to give the manager credit, because these tactics, outclassed Andre Slots, and it worked today. The substitutes came on and did their thing. Jadon Sancho could have scored, but it was saved by Alisson. I cannot complain, man. I cannot complain. But listen, we got Newcastle next. That's going to be a tough game. But if we can beat them, then maybe I'll start to believe that Chelsea will finish in the top 5. Obviously, we got Man United. We should beat them, because, like you said, so you're probably going to play your kids if you're in the Europa League final. And Nottingham Forest, I mean, that's going to be a tough game. But Forest right now are starting to be a little bit bad, because they've lost 3 out of their 4 games in the Premier League, and they've got Crystal Palace tomorrow away, which is tough. So, listen, I feel like we've got a chance, but if we can keep winning every single game from now until the end of the season, then maybe I'll start to believe. But I'm absolutely buzzing. We finally beat Liverpool since March 2021. And also, we finally beat Liverpool at Stamford Bridge since May 2018, which is 7 years ago. So it's crazy, but I'm absolutely buzzing right now. And the fact that we managed to be a top 6, especially the champions, just makes me even more happier. So I just really hope that next season we can beat the likes of Man City and also, because those are the teams that we're still yet to beat. But other than that, absolutely buzzing today.
It feels so good for us to just be back on our perch. This feels amazing. Honestly, you guys all remind me of me 10 years ago. Like, this is just beautiful to hear. I'm so happy to beat Liverpool, and I'm here just sat here number 20. It's absolutely amazing. I love this. I've generally just had like I didn't interrupt any of you like when you were speaking about your own clubs, and I was just thinking like, this really was me 10 years ago. Like, yes, we beat Chelsea, and now like I'm sat here 10 years later with a completely different mindset, like celebrating a league title. So I'm happy for you guys. I actually hope you do get top 4 and knock out Newcastle. I do think though, one thing about the Chelsea thing is, I think that game against Forest at the end, that's going to be like a top 4 final right there, because it's the last game of the season. I really do believe it.
But if we beat Newcastle and Man United, that game might not even matter.
Yeah, but I don't think you'll beat Newcastle away. That's
no. I'm just saying. We
have a horrible record over there as well.
If we do beat Newcastle and beat Manchester United, that game means nothing.
True.
That's you got to remember, Sam. Forest are in bad form as well. I mean, they got Palace tomorrow as well. Do you know what I mean?
They are. I do think they will pick it up a little bit though.
Yeah, it just depends on what they do. If they beat Palace, it all depends on the results leading up to it. Because if Chelsea and Forest both win their next 2 games, then it will become a bit of a shoot. Is it at Stamford Bridge though?
No,
it's St. James
away.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be supporting Chelsea in that game fully actively, like a Chelsea fan for 90
I hear that.
What was
Terry, I want to say something real quick. Chelsea this season have managed to equal the same points as last season, by the way, 63 points. So we managed to do that. So if we win one more game, that means we'll be better this season than we did last season. So there you go.
Yeah, we're better than we was last season anyway. Let's not even go into that.
I think you're better without the points, but I think it's more about the Champions League qualification, because you guys, it's the money that comes with that. Your owners will spend it, and I think that will improve you dramatically. Arsenal 4 points. Thoughts 4 points. Yeah, look,
that's true.
Everybody knows that Arsenal have had a horrendous Premier League season. I don't know how many times me and Hassam have spoken about this on Straight Facts, maybe 20 times this season. And yeah, they're not in a very good position whatsoever. If they end up finishing 3rd or 4th, don't win that Champions League, their fans will rightfully be pissed off and angry. Does that mean with good signings in the summer they won't be much better next year? No. They'll have to take their banter though. There's no doubt about it.
Chelsea are 4 points behind Arsenal. I just realized that's what
we are.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Chelsea fans, chill. Paul already on holiday mode. You are still 19 points behind and having to play Newcastle, United, and Forest. Your Champions League is far from confirmed. I mean,
hey, Terry.
Yeah.
Hey, guy, why don't you just go around to children's homes and tell them Santa Claus doesn't exist? You know what I mean? Piss off, man. We're enjoying our win. You know what I mean?
Jason, this must be Jason. I love you, bro. You've super chatted before, but are you sure Jamie Carragher hasn't stolen your phone? You know, celebration police being out and everything. Come on now. Big up Slots, who's actually rated my team all season, unlike his fraud fans, Hassam and Mons. Perfect Slots game plan from him, but Bradley on some imposter mission is what Blaze says
Blaze,
here.
we did the trade me and you spoke about, you know. I told you we're going to give you the win, but I didn't get my Salah assist because Nunes is a loser. But that's what it is.
I believe Slot rotated to see ND plan for the summer win. What does ND mean?
I think he means and plan for the summer.
Oh, and plan for the summer. I hear you, Omar. Cole Palmer, wow, he is the best number. Is he the best number 10 in the Premier League?
No, stop this.
Who's his competition? Who's his competition this season?
This is the no, but
Odegaard. It's Odegaard.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Odegaard! No way!
That's my old point, Sam. That's what I said.
You want to know why he's best number 10? Because there are no other number 10s.
Yeah, exactly.
Even Bruno's playing more of an 8 role. Well, he's played a bit of 10, but more 8 role this season. So yeah.
They're all 9 3/4. That's what they are.
Helping Chelsea make Champions League doesn't help anyone. We all know. Sorry, we know we'll beat you to your off-season targets.
Actually, this time I haven't been even linked to the same player, so I'm good, bro.
No, you're not there.
I'm good. No. We haven't been linked to any similar players, so we're safe.
Hassan's very happy about that. He hasn't got to wish bugs on anyone's food. Yes. Newcastle's next fixtures are Chelsea and Arsenal. Forest are playing Palace tomorrow. 2 more wins should do it. Yeah, I think if you get 2 more, if you get 2 more wins, you can do it. Oh, I know this guy that's just come backstage, Jamie. How you doing, mate? How you doing? You good?
How's things, lads? How are you?
Yeah, very good. I say I know you. I've reacted to some of your watch-alongs before. Hilarious stuff.
Ah, nice.
Much better than Hassam's shit. I'll be honest with you, Story. I'm only joking. That Salah versus Cucurella battle was nice to see. Going against the best will only make you better, is what C says. Yeah, and it might make Mo Salah better. You're right. Sorry, Hassam. Palmer has now scored against every top 6 team. There we go. He deserves it. Brilliant player.
You do.
Eze has something for me tomorrow. Keep the blue flag flying high, is what Abdi says here. Jamie, obviously Liverpool, champions, and the win for yourselves isn't that important. What did you make of today overall?
Just a team that was probably hungover from the partying that went on all during the week. I thought Liverpool, there was no real impetus other than maybe when they got the goal. They kind of maybe showed a little bit like they were going to push on and try and get a second. But then obviously Quansah, who I thought was probably his worst performance ever for Liverpool. I thought he was really poor. Obviously gave away the penalty and then Chelsea wrap it up with Palmer. But yeah, it was Liverpool had no way of trying to get themselves motivated to go out and win. And even you seen at the end of the game, all the Liverpool fans were still there celebrating as if they'd won the league on that day. Do you know what I mean? It was just that type of performance. I think maybe Arsenal next week we might get a little bit more up for it because of obviously the I don't know if you would call it a title race, but
there's certainly been a bit of a rivalry that's built up this last season between the fans.
Especially. I don't think we will be serious against Arsenal. I think so.
Yeah, I think we'll be a little bit more serious, and then I think if Arsenal get knocked out in the Champions League, then they might want to go out and show a little bit more in that game. But I think for the rest of the 2 games, I think Liverpool players will be on autopilot. And I think as well, I was actually disappointed on some of the players because I think this Slot hasn't wanted to rotate his team, and I think maybe today we've seen a little bit why, because he maybe doesn't trust the players that are there, and that's why they haven't been getting they haven't been starting matches, or they haven't been coming in off the bench or anything like that. And I think we maybe not run out of legs, but we haven't seen too much rotation even in the second half of the season when we needed to. So yeah, I think it was disappointing, especially someone like Quansah, Elliott, Jones. I thought was poor, but yeah, it was just a team that had already won the league and were just kind of there to show up because they had to.
Yeah, I don't think any rival fan can banter, or I don't believe that, because you're probably going to see other top other teams chasing the Champions League position, and fans go, "Why didn't Liverpool try?" That's not on Liverpool to try for you. That's your problem if you're relying on Liverpool to win you games. Liverpool earned the right to rotate their team with 5 games to spare. They earned the right to do it. Do you know what I mean? They earned it. Sam's right. If this was last week, I don't think we win that game. I just don't think we win that game at all. If you want to be honest with you, I just don't think we do. Maybe a draw, because as Sam knows, we draw loads of games in the league recently. So,
Yeah, it's funny because Terry called me salty after I said what I said, and then all the Chelsea fans start their statement with "I agree with Hussam" and blah blah blah. Blah. It's funny. I didn't even say anything salty. I'm just being honest.
That's not necessarily true, because Jem and the boys agreed that when you said that the last 3 games mean nothing, it's about the next 3 games. And also the first thing that I pushed back on.
I didn't say the last 3 games mean nothing. I'm talking about today only.
You said the next 3 games mean something. The last ones aren't that important. You literally said
I'm
that
talking about today only specifically.
But the only other thing I called you out on that we disagreed on is when we were reading out, because you only just arrived, we were reading out that stat that the Athletic put out. It was more from as I said 3 times, it was from a Chelsea perspective and how important that was for them. It doesn't really impact yourselves. So,
yes.
And again, I think the Chelsea fans agree with that part. But I just want to call out Twisted Bubba in the comment section, because he put a thing in there saying, "Terry, aren't you embarrassed?" Well, yes, I am embarrassed that my team are really, really bad. But I want to show you something and ask how embarrassed you are. I got sent this earlier on today. The next time someone said you chatted weird, why are you posting jokes and things about Sir Alex Ferguson being dead? Why are you doing that, Twisted Bubba? Why are you posting that, bro? Yeah, I know you're a troll, right? And you're a king troll, but jokes like that are a madness. You know what I'm saying? So wind your neck in, son, before you get a dry slap across the mouth, bruv. It's just horrendous. You know, talk about man dying. That's crazy. You ain't got to like him. You got to wish someone dead. Jesus Christ. What does this say here? Oh, sorry, we've done that super chat. Someone just sent it to me today and said the next time he starts trying to be virtuous, more when someone said next time he tries to be virtuous and tries to tell people off for things, you should show it. I just thought I'd show it now. So there we go, Twisted Bubba. But it's like most of the trolls, typically speaking, are not nice people. You end up finding that out about them. Do you know what I mean? Like Maradon the Moron and all those guys. But just wind your neck in, Twisted Bubba, because there's no space for that in this thing. Terry is the only one who's salty, bruv. Like no, yeah,
that is definitely salty.
About what?
Pot number 20. You can't deny you're salty. It's okay.
Not today. I was last week. I'm over it now. Like I don't like on a real level, right? Of course, I don't like Liverpool winning it. And I don't even mean, this is not a dig at you, Hussam. I don't mean it this way. I'm a grown man with 3 children, a family and a life and a number of businesses to run. I can't afford for a week after another team wins something, not even at my behest. You didn't beat me to the title. I can't afford to be depressed and angry about it a week later in life. Like on a real one.
I know we're going to create content, but of course, there's nothing worse for a Liverpool fan than United winning.
League anyway for the league.
Yeah, I mean, I spent all of last week on 4 different shows defending Liverpool, saying they were worthy champions, brilliant champions. I said about 5 times this season, you're probably the best team in the world up until PSG knocked you out. And I still actually think on your day, you're better than them, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, I'm not salty. I've been very, very complimentary of
winning the league on 82 points. Jesus Christ. When was the last time that happened? It finished on 82 points.
Wow. United won the league on 75 points against Newcastle.
Yes, and that was in 96, 97. What was that, 30 years ago? Nearly?
Yeah, that's crazy, right? But do you discredit Ferguson's league titles? How many league titles?
Does that just mean that the league's that poor? Or does that just mean that
back in the day was actually a lot of points. So where do you go from here? I never brought that up. Remember, you're the one that brought it up. I don't discredit league titles. You did. You just did. Jim,
I just think Liverpool, when Liverpool have won it of recent, they've just been so.
You don't know what history will always remember.
Like when they won it, over COVID.
You don't know what the history remember. Ferguson got 13 league titles. That's what history remembers. You know what history remembers? Liverpool are league champions 2025. No one will remember you beat us. Literally no one.
I don't think people remember 2025 or the COVID time really, because it was just irrelevant.
There's always an excuse when Liverpool win a league.
You just brought it up, so you just contradicted yourself by definition.
It was boring, bro. It was boring.
No one remembered the COVID season, but you just mentioned it, so you remember it already.
No one cares, man. No one cares. I mean, you guys win.
Jam, you've been absent every single time Chelsea's been crap and you're back after a win.
I've been absent because I have a life like Terry, unfortunately, and I have things to do. But now I'm going to be more available.
We all have lives.
Do you know
what I love the most about you, Jem? You haven't really been on the terrace much in the last 2 years. I love the fact you kept the same haircut, though. It's the pineapple is back, bro. We haven't seen it for years on here. We haven't seen it for years. Of course, I'm annoyed that Liverpool have won it. At the same time, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I've had a few people say, not Liverpool fans, actually. There's been other like Chelsea fans, Arsenal, West Ham, funnily enough, who've got no league titles. You ain't got 20 anymore. No, I've still got 20 league titles. Like, that doesn't disappear because Liverpool have it. It's again, I'm not annoyed they've got it. I'm not going to lie, but I get the banter from Liverpool fans. I just don't get it from fans of clubs, some of them of which have 1/4 of my league titles, trying to wind me up. It doesn't. I said it the other day. It's a bit like some bloke in a £30,000 a year job laughing at Elon Musk because he's got 40 billion and Bill Gates has got 45 billion. It doesn't make sense. Like, I'm not going to take it seriously from you. Liverpool fans are the only ones who can chat.
Just like Chelsea, you know, just as many league titles as Sunderland. Big up.
You're so Chelsea. He's actually rattled.
You respond to everything I say.
Why are you rattled? You got rattled. He's got 82 points. 82 points.
Chelsea playing at Anfield had slots saying they're the only team that bettered them, and Hussam making a Chelsea apology video. I remember that. Yeah, do you remember that Chelsea game when you came out?
Yeah, because I said yes. I did say if we don't beat Chelsea by 4 goals, I'll apologize. I'm a man of my word. I apologize. I think you performed really well. I actually think Chelsea played better that day than they did today, because that was the Liverpool that
they still lost.
Actually tried to win, you know. And I was shitting myself in the last 10 minutes of that game. Gilno, though, guys, for everyone here on the panel, thinks Garnacho is better than Lamine Yamal. Big up, guys.
His goal was good today. His goal was good today, to be fair.
Listen, Gilno is one of them guys that whatever Todd Bowley wants, like, he just sucks off immediately. He has a picture of Todd on his room and he just kisses it before he goes to bed. As soon as Chelsea were linked to Garnacho, he's like, oh, he has more goals than Lamine Yamal from age 17. I'm like, Yamal was in the fucking academy, bro, playing under 14s. Of course, his GA won't count in the under 14s, bro. But anyway,
that's I like Garnacho, but fuck me, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Look, I want to thank everyone who's come on. Jamie, like, obviously, great to get you on the show again, my man. I really do like your work. Great to have you back, Jem. Hussam, thank you. Elijah, thank you very much, mate. And WinterSurfer, I will praise you, mate. You've been probably the most consistent attending Chelsea fan all season through the tough times.
And Elijah, to be fair.
And Elijah's been here, but halfway through the season, really, but like, that's not a dig, that's just the facts. So thank you all, my super chatters. Thank you.
He's done Lavia performances, didn't you, Elijah? You've turned up right at the end of the season. I like that.
This is going to redirect you, this stream, to where are we redirecting to today?
El Ahwa.
Yes.
El Ahwa. So get yourselves over to Sam's channel, go and support him. I'm back tomorrow morning around 10 a.m. Straight facts with Dan Potts, where we're going to be talking Mark Goldbridge. So make sure you're going to be on the show tomorrow morning with Potsy, Hussam, and Judge Mo. Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and we'll see you all again soon. Peace.